Good evening. We begin tonight with escalating global trade tensions as the United States moves to significantly increase its worldwide special tariffs. This comes just months after the Supreme Court declared many of former President Donald Trump's previous tariffs unconstitutional. The United States is expected to raise its global special tariff from 10% to 15% as early as this week. The announcement was made by United States Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on the financial news channel CNBC on Wednesday. This new increase is grounded in the Trade Act of 1974, a piece of legislation that permits additional tariffs for a period of 150 days, roughly 5 months. Any extension beyond this period would necessitate approval from the United States Congress. This latest move follows a significant development in February when the United States Supreme Court ruled against the legality of most of former President Donald Trump's special tariffs. Despite this setback, President Trump swiftly responded by imposing a new, initially 10% surcharge on oil trading partners, citing a different legal framework. At the time, he repeatedly indicated his ultimate goal was a 15% tariff. Secretary Bessent also stated that, in the medium term, the United States aims to revert to the specific tariff rates for individual trading partners that were in place prior to the Supreme Court's ruling. He expressed strong conviction, saying, "I am firmly convinced that the tariff rates will return to their old level within 5 months." The imposition of these tariffs is based on United States investigations into what are described as unfair trade practices by partner nations and alleged violations of national security. The United States' tariff policy was a central topic during a meeting on Tuesday between German Chancellor Friedrich Merz of the Christian Democratic Union and President Trump in Washington. Following his discussions, Chancellor Merz reported seeing positive signals for the rapid implementation of the European Union trade agreement with the United States, an agreement drafted this past summer. This prior agreement had already envisioned a 15% surcharge on the majority of European products. In Washington, Merz expressed his hope that United States import tariffs would not climb above this already established rate. However, the meeting was also overshadowed by President Trump's earlier threat of punitive tariffs against Spain, a fellow European Union and North Atlantic Treaty Organization partner. Trump's reason for the threat was that Spain's Social Democratic Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez had prohibited the United States Air Force from using bases in his country as a stopover point on routes to Iran. The United Kingdom had also faced criticism for its initial restrictive stance on similar matters. Chancellor Merz publicly appeared to accept Trump's threat. Yet, after his bilateral meeting with the President, the Chancellor clarified that he had indeed raised the issue during their private conversation and had pointed out the European Union's sole jurisdiction in trade matters. Nonetheless, this public posture drew sharp criticism from RenAc Repasi, a Social Democratic Party member of the European Parliament from Mannheim, who serves as his faction's trade expert in the Strasbourg Parliament. Repasi sharply criticized the Chancellor, stating, "Friedrich Merz was a statist in the Trump show." Repasi also chairs the German Social Democratic delegation in the European Parliament. It is important to remember that since the Lisbon Treaty of 2009, the European Union holds the exclusive mandate for all trade-related issues on behalf of its member states. This ongoing tariff saga underscores the complex and often contentious landscape of global trade, with significant implications for international relations and the world economy. The coming months will reveal whether Secretary Bessent's 5-month timeline for a return to previous tariff levels holds true, or if these elevated tariffs become a more enduring feature of global commerce. What's your take on US Tariffs Soar to 15%? Global trade tensions escalate. Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.